We originated the rest in bitch face. Hey guys, welcome back to our program. I'm experimenting with a new camera, and the quality may look a little bit better, but still trying to get the frame rates to work correctly. So bear with us, but still wanted to get this video out. I'm ordering some more equipment, so just bear with this program today. I'm going to try not to use too many movements, so you'll be able to at least get the information, and hopefully it just kind of gives you an insight to what we deal with in our community, and you know, around Martin MLK Boulevard area of your community, and in our community, and what how it trips us up a bunch of times. And so hopefully we can, you learn something today, and you can kind of see again what we're dealing with. So anyway, today is why can't we just say hi? Why can't we just say hi? In our community, we're mean people. We're just we have a standoffish, a very aggressive demeanor. And and I hope you can check out my video about antisocial behavior. And it's one of the reasons why has been so difficult for us to build community, for us to build our communities, because we are antisocial. We are taught through our music, through images, and even in our homes to not be friendly, to resolve everything through fights, to resolve everything through some type of, I don't know. Okay, and we're back. I wanted to make sure I had the correct microphone. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. We'll see in the editing process if you guys hear me. But anyway, and I wanted to talk about that. And the reason why I wanted to bring that up and talk about that was the encounters that we had a couple of weeks ago. It's been I wrote these points down, and I wrote this program out a few weeks ago, but it's been a bunch of different things that's been going on in Black Ortiz life, and me and Starla's life. So, but everything's cool with me and Starla. There's no problems. But it's just that I don't have enough followers for you guys to care about what's going on with me. So I'm going to get right to the point. So anyway, those two ladies in my complex displayed this antisocial behavior that keeps us from building communities on the MLK side of the city. And there's one girl that lives next to us, and I'm the type of person, see, my dad taught me like this, and I'm a little older, I know. You can see the gray in my face. But I was taught that I had to speak to everybody. Like what I used to, when growing up, going into, when I'm with my dad and I go into their friends' homes or to a family member's home, I was expected to speak and say hi to everybody immediately as I walked through the door. And I, of course, being a 6, 7, 8-year-old, you had a soft voice. So, it most likely it comes off as hi, hi. It's not like, hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm Black Ortiz, And but and so my dad would turn around and say, Did he speak? Did he speak to you guys? And I'm like, and they're like, oh, hey, Mr. Black Ortiz's father, he spoke. These are my aunts, my uncles, family members. But it was expected, because we represented our parents, and we didn't want to have mean, disrespectful children. So that was in me, is that to not speak, to not say hello to people was disrespectful. But fast forward through music and through the hood and through being around our people all the time, you get to the point where that niceness, that jovial, the kind attitude, the friendly attitude comes off as weak. You can't get any girls if you got a friendly punk, what they call punk attitude. You got to be hard. You got to be like, like, man, Listen, I hurt you. What up, man? I ain't saying hi to nobody. And sometimes you got to scare people off because you can be afraid on the inside, and you're just trying to make sure nobody tries to check you. And again, our antisocial communities, everybody's always trying to check us. Now again, I'm older, and I thought I graduated out of that time in my life, but even as adults in our communities, it's the same. We deal with a lot of the same things, not as much, but a lot of the same type of things where people are just antisocial. And so, like I said, let me get back to my point. And I spoke to this lady twice, and she looked me dead in my eye and did not say or speak back to me. And I've dealt with that a lot. I deal with that, and it seems like it's been more pronounced in the South. Now, I do not believe in Southern hospitality in the MLK community. I do not believe it is not there. There's no such thing. And I'm talking about even with your own family. These people, you will have new family members coming in, and these cousins and stuff, they will not speak to you, or if they speak to you, they speak to you, sideways, like they've been knowing you your whole life. And that's antisocial. And that's why it's so difficult for us to build communities. And when people, so those types of things. And so again, we saw this other lady. It's like she has a black Mercedes, so you can't tell her nothing. And again, they'll just look at you and don't say anything. And the reason why this is so off-putting to me is because, see, when I went, of course, all black high schools, all black schools for half of my life, and half of my life I went to an all white school, where I was the only minority in the whole school, not just the only black person, the only minority in the whole school. And so I had it both ways. So, graduated from high school, all black high school, I went to my university, and, it's 40,000 students on campus. And just like in the campus represented the entire world. So we were only like 10, 12% of the entire campus. So when we saw one of us, we always was like, hey, what's going on? Because we knew it was only a few of us up there. So we didn't know, we're scared. We're going on campus. So I still had that attitude because we're still the minority. If I see a black person, I'm going to nod at them. It's just in you because we have something in common. We, most of the time, 90% of the time, we have similar backgrounds. We know we have similar musical tastes. We like the same type of women, or women with same like the same type of men, same type of hairstyles, different things like that. And so that's why we do that. But it always saddens me when one of the people that you're looking like, man, it's just only a few of us. Why are you so mean? And the girls just, look at, and they're probably thinking, if I say something to him, he gonna come over and talk to me and try to get with me. So what? So what? That's what we do. We are attracted to the opposite sex. So even if, let me tell you something. Sometimes a man will speak to you because you're the opposite sex. Like in my IT world, I work with men all day long. Every single day. I've been in IT for 20 years, and that's 20 years of men. And sometimes when you see a lady, you're not trying to get with them. It's good to talk to somebody other than a doggone dude all the time. And so sometimes we may speak and we may carry on a conversation. And guess what? Many times we may be in a certain position that if we're at a place, if we in a store, maybe in line, talking to you the grocery and talking to you in the grocery store line, some of us are in a position where we'll just pay for your groceries. Not because we want anything from you, it's because it's just pleasant to speak to a lady. Like, stop being so crazy and antisocial. So again, that was my first point. The second thing, we don't know how to relate to others. And it's a survival behavior stemming from the places that we came from. And most likely is the hood. We don't know. We don't know how to be friendly with each other without coming off as quote unquote soft. And I'm talking about from the male and the females. So you thinking this is about guys. No, females look at each other like, I don't want to seem soft or weak to other females. Guess what? You're female. You're supposed to be soft. You're supposed to be weak in a certain way. And I'm not going to get into this situation, but come on, man. Stop it. And honestly, I'm talking to our people right now, so I don't care whoever else listening. Stop it. You're supposed to be soft. That makes room for us and our strength. That gives us our natural purpose to come to your rescue, to rescue you even if you don't need rescuing, to come to be chivalrous, even when it's not even a situation where you need chivalry. Get out of here with that crazy, hardcore mentality. And you know what it is? And I'm talking about the ladies here. I learned this caricature when I was a kid. I was reading about this as a kid. I don't know if I was a kid or if I was just a young adult at that time, but it's called the Sapphire caricature. Sapphire is the mama. She's been struggling raising children for so long that she has lost pretty much all of her femininity. She's just a mama. She's just in the struggle. She always had to make sure her kids are okay. She's working several jobs. She doesn't necessarily she doesn't get dressed up and to be pretty, to be beautiful. Why? Because that's not going to help her in the raising of her kids. And men and a lot of us, a lot of the ladies had that sapphire attitude. But now what they try to do is they try to slather on all of this makeup and this hair weave and all of these things over the same sapphire attitude. And when you have a feminine attitude, most of your makeup and different things like that is not even needed. It's just icing on a beautiful cake that you want to sink your teeth into anyway. But again, it's the hood. It's mean. It's contentious. It's the fight. We're always told, if don't come in here unless I beat you up. You better not come in here beat up. You better fight back. And so we learn to use these instead of learn to use this. And this in every culture that's on this planet that has leaned more on this than these have advanced a lot further. And I told this theory to Starla before, and I'm gonna take a few minutes to talk about it here. Is that the same reason why women have survived in their role and have been able to many times, dominate and get what they want from a man is the same reason why the black culture has always struggled. Because you see, and I'm gonna break it down to you. Just give me a second here. Stay with me. Women are weak. They're inherently weak. The Bible calls them the weaker vessel. So to get what they need or for survival, using their brunt and their brawn is meaningless to another man. So what has developed in evolution? Their mind, their abilities. They know that I was born with an inherent value to a man right from birth. And so therefore, I need to understand how to use that, how to use the fact that men are attracted to my physical appearances. I don't need brawn. I don't need strength. All I need to do is use my mind and many times that mind will transfer into using emotions, using sensuality, using tears, using manufacturing jealousy in that man. And you've got and women have been able to thrive. And because they knew that there's no reason that I can use I'm not going to be able to make it trying to use this against men. I'm going to have to use my mind, and my mind says, "Hey, lady, you were born with value that a man wants. And if I understand how to use that, I will never go hungry in my entire life, and I will never have to fight a fight." And I transfer that over to black culture. Blacks excel in sports. They excel in entertainment. They excel in physical stature. They excel in even sexual. The we have a there's a myth about a black man's endowment. See, those are all physical things. That has everything to do with our strength and our brawn. And many times that's all we rely on. And even those who wasn't born with exceptional brawn or exceptional physical skills will still think that that's the only thing that I have to use and be able to get ahead. But other cultures I believe they've always understood that brawn isn't the best way to be able to make it. That they have to use their brains. So they've developed they've developed their brains over their brawn. They've developed they understand how to build communities, how to build wealth, how to build weapons, how to extract the resources from the earth and put them into use. And many times they've used these brains to manipulate the brawn of our culture. And if you look at it, and if you just take a look at it, now I'm not an archaeologist, I'm not some type of historian, but think about this. How does the strong, tall, lean, muscular people of Africa have continued to lag behind in the entire world and every other culture, and they have even been able to be dominated and had their lands taken from them? Not even, it hasn't been their lands. Their land wasn't taken from them. Their land was given away because they did not develop this, and the people that had this developed didn't do anything but manipulate them. They come to them and said, in the centuries past, and said, "Hey, listen, we have these weapons to help you destroy your enemy. Because I know all you want to think about is fighting and conflict. You don't want to work with them. So here, we've developed these weapons, and in exchange for these weapons, give us your resources. So now we can go and kill our neighbors while these other people come in and extract all of our resources." It's because we rely so much on brawn. All of these kids, it's still all these in my generation, and my kid, my maybe the generation a generation before, after me, right after us. What do they want to do? They want to be entertainers. They want to play basketball, football, baseball, rap or sing or act. All entertainment, all physical talents that are inherently born. And if I'm not born with the right talent, I still want to do it anyway. And I figure if I work real hard, I'll be lucky. But all the cultures, they will look at they will say, "You know what? I'm not really tall. So basketball's out of the question. So I'm going to try to do something else. I'm not really that fast. So football's out of the question. I'm going to try to do something else. I can't really, I'm not really that strong, and I can't really swing a bat so baseball is really out of the question. So let me find something else I can do. And while we're sitting up there taking all of our resources and trying to get our kids to be some type of athlete, these other cultures are taking their kids and developing their minds. And they continue to dominate us. Because we use our brawn instead of our brains. And our brains, if we used our brains would tell us, let's work with our neighbors. I said this before, blacks are taught that friendliness is corny. You know Starla has never been in a fight? Starla has never been in a fight, in a physical fight. You know how amazing that is? That you can go through this work. Do you understand that I fought and I'm going back to my school year, every single school year, all the way through 8th grade. And the reason why I did not fight 9th, 10th, and 11th, and 12th grade is because I was so close to the city of Detroit. My school bordered Detroit, 2 miles from Detroit. We had a lot of Detroit transfers and people who lived in Detroit that went to our school. And I seen a lot of violence. I seen a lot of people get their nose bloodied, passed out, kicked in the face, kicked in the mouth, teeth knocked out. And I say, you know what? I'm not gonna be fighting over here. And they were fighting 2-on-1, 3-on-1, 4-on-2, brawls, all types of stuff. Now I've had near misses. I've had some times where I just had, and also the last when I didn't want to get, didn't want to get suspended and be out of school for 2-3 weeks because they was just getting terrible sentences. They wasn't like, and I just didn't want to do that. And then Starless here, never had one fight. Then I'll go on to college and I realized that I didn't see all of the violence in my hometown that I did up in college. And so now I'm thinking I'm hard. I'm thinking I'm some gangster now. And I get in a big old fight. I get in several fights. Doggone near got kicked out of school. Kicked off. I was the kid that kicked me off of campus. Because I thought that was going to make me a bigger man and more desirable. And it really altered my life. It altered it drastically. And just because we don't value the right things. We value being tough over being able to develop relationships. The behavior continues well into our adulthood, and then we go from thinking as a kid, don't be friendly. As an adult, don't be friendly. There's a cigar bar that used to on the other side of town that I used to stay. You used to go there. No one speaks to you. No one says hello to you. And this was in the MLK part of town. No one says anything to you. And it's like we're adults now. We got gray in our beards. Why are we doing this? Why don't you want to make as many friends as possible? Who cares? I'm married. I don't want your ugly fat wife. And you ain't got it enough to be able to take my star away from me. So get out of here with that. And I'm also not surprised that elderly black Americans aren't friendly, which you would think. So there's been a bunch of times I've smiled and said hello to older black Americans, and they will look you red dead in your eye and not say anything back, which is ridiculous and rude and antisocial. Black Americans expect you to earn their smile. You got to get in good with them. Then they'll show you their teeth and show you how friendly they are. That is ridiculous. And you can see why we're in the situations that we're in. And again, all of you guys on the other side of the tracks looking into our communities and telling us it's about racism. It ain't about no racism. Get out of here. Racism ain't stopping us, hasn't stopped us from doing anything for the last 30 years. Nothing. It doesn't stop us from, well, anyway, I'm not going to get into that. We're talking about, I'm going to continue on some of those other things, but I don't want to get off point. I've been off, kind of been on a little rabbit trail. But again, black women originated the RBF, the rest in BITCH face. Black women in poor communities are even discouraged by the matriarchs from smiling and having a pleasant demeanor. I've heard of stories of grandmothers, mothers, aunties looking at the young girls saying, "What you smiling? What you so happy about? Ain't nothing to be happy about. What are you talking about? I'm just 8 years old. I don't know about what you're going through. I don't know about bills. I don't know about being hungry. I don't know about all of these types of things. I'm just playing with my Barbie dolls. I'm just doing this. I'm just doing that. You stealing my joy as a young girl, and now I got to go through being mean." There were some girls I used to, they were all related. At the ministry I used to help run, and they were all the meanest girls. You just saw their mean, rude demeanor just filtered from them, perpetuated from them. They just all had mean faces. They would talk to each other with a mean face. And I look at their mothers, and their mothers, you can tell that their mothers, when they got away from church, that they were just as mean as they were at home. And you'll think like, man, y'all come up here and y'all run and shout around the church, but y'all can't doggone have a smile on your face. And you can't teach your girls to have a smile. And their girls are doing terrible. I'm friends with them on Facebook. They are doing horrible. Just as horrible as I thought they would do. Anyway, number 5. This results in tension when there are predominantly black crowds. And this is what I wanted to get to. Concerts, bars, clubs, sporting events. If it's predominantly black, there's going to be an issue. There's going to be gunshots. There's going to be a fight. They're going to shut it down. The police are going to come and shut it down. Because we do not know how to be around each other. Because we come with these attitudes to say, I will be the toughest person in this entire arena. I'm not coming here to smile. I'm not coming here to make friends. I'm not coming here to necessarily have a good time. It's more important that you respect me as the biggest alpha dog here than me have a good time. And see, many of the people that follow this program, that subscribe to this program, you guys don't know about that. You guys go to bars, you guys go to concerts. There's no gunshots at your bars. There's nobody getting killed at your concerts or your clubs or the places that you guys have to hang out, the breweries and stuff like that. That stuff is in our community. That's why there's always several police out just in hopes that they can keep the place from being shut down. But 8 times out of 10, it's going to get shut. That whole situation is going to get shut down. We do not know how to get along. We have antisocial behavior. And it's never let me tell you something. Some of you guys are used to this. You're sitting at the bar, you're drinking, you see something happen, maybe on a television, a sporting event, and you turn to the person that you do not know and you spark up a conversation with them. That does not happen in our communities. If you try to do that, they will cold look at you and not respond. That is a fact. We do not as you get older, they've softened. But in their 20s, no way. Everybody's trying to be the toughest person. And that's why we don't have anything. You think, why there's not? It seems like black people, we like to dance, we like this. Why don't we have that many venues to do those types of things? Because we tear them up. Women too. I was at this very, very nice, one of the nicer places here in this city, and they have a rooftop bar, beautiful, overlooking the river, right there downtown. It is gorgeous, romantic, and everything. Twice when I was there, I seen one of the sisters screaming, yelling, and fussing about to fight somebody that they were with. Why in that type of venue? And why do you make us look so bad? And why can't you just be nice? And let me tell you how terrible it is. It's rare that these events are seen or go out without a hitch. And when it happens, people are surprised. They say this: everyone was just having a good time, no fights or anything. Do you guys talk? Is that how you guys talk? Is that what you do when you guys leave the concerts or leave a festival or leave the brewery or leave the bar? Like, oh, it was so nice. Nobody was fighting or anything. That's a common occurrence for us. What does race have to do with it? We can't get along with each other.